Good morning, folks. This is Ron coming at you from the Arizona Hog Hunters. For those of you who watched our intro video, you have a general idea of what we're talking about. Hunting wild boar, aka Russian boar, Eurasian boar, feral hogs. And there's a little bit of difference that I'll explain on those, even though they are technically the same. Topic of today's video is going to be why hunt wild boar. And what we want to do is explain to you first what wild boar are, why we like to hunt them, and what are the various challenges that we have. And I'm going to be using my notes here because we have quite a bit of information. So this is acting kind of like my teleprompter. But anyway, one of the reasons that people don't hunt wild boar too much in the state of Arizona, if at all, is that they're not aware that Arizona has a budding population of boar that we're not aware of, and there's several reasons for that. One is that these animals are primarily nocturnal. They only come out at night to feed and mate and do all their other stuff, and very infrequently they are seen by the public. And when they are seen in the evenings or early mornings, a lot of times people mistake them for javelina, which there is some resemblance. But one of the other reasons that we don't hunt wild boar too much in Arizona is that the closest places that we can go to are Texas and California. Texas, of course, everybody's heard of the problems they're having with the overabundance. And it's quite a problem in that state. Definitely different hunting situation. We don't have that many here in Arizona as of yet, but the way these animals proliferate, reproduce, is quite impressive. So Arizona is getting to that stage where Texas was maybe 20, 30 years ago, as far as numbers are concerned. Why we like to hunt javelina for hunters that have wild boar, is number one, we like the challenges. The wild boar are technically very intelligent, probably the smartest game animal on the North American continent, if not the world. Without a doubt, the hunters that have hunted them will rate them above a white-tailed deer, which is known to be pretty smart in its own right. Hogs, wild boar, typically have a very good sense of smell, very good hearing. Their eyesight isn't the best. In some cases we've had pigs spot our hunters, maybe 300-400 yards away, but that was because they were moving. And so with their eyesight being as poor as it is, if you know how to hunt them, then it definitely works to your advantage once you located them. Okay, another reason that maybe people haven't gotten into wild boar hunting is because of the costs. Hunting is becoming a rich man's sport. Hunting licenses and tags every year, I kid you not, they climb. And I've got something here on the board here. Let me move over here. And it kind of explains what it costs. And first of all, to hunt wildlife in the state of Arizona, you've got a hunting license that needs to be purchased. For a resident, $37. Okay, not that big a deal, but it's climbing. For a non-resident, it's $160. Okay, and then when you get to the tags for each animal, assuming you even get drawn to purchase a tag, because in Arizona we have a lottery system. Javelina, for instance, aka desert rat, $38 for a resident tag, $115 for a non-resident tag. And what kind of blows my mind is someone out of state might want to come in and hunt javelina. They're going to spend $115 for the tag and $160 for the hunting license. That just not my priority. Deer, a deer tag, $58 for resident. I remember when I was a kid, I think it cost $10 or $11. I guess that was a while ago. Non-resident deer is going to run $315. Elk, $148 for a resident, $665 for a non-resident. Now, compared to wild boar, $0. No license, no tag are needed in the state of Arizona. There are no restrictions on number taken, no season, there's no, and the types of weapons used, there's no restriction. Bottom line is the government has very little, if any, control on the hunting, taking of wild boar in Arizona. So the problem gets to, where are they? And that's what we're all about. One of the other things while I'm up here real quick on the board are meat prices. Let's talk about what meat costs nowadays. For pork, median pricing, and that's on all your cuts combined together, at a place like Walmart, you're going to spend an average of $4 a pound. Okay? And you might want to, while I'm thinking of it, and wherever you're located, how does that compare to what you are paying in your area? Okay? So if you have some comments on that, go to our comments section, make your notes, ask your questions on any of this stuff here. But getting back to the prices, look at beef. $10 a pound, median cost. Okay, that's from everything from sausage to your ribeye steaks. Okay, wild boar, it costs nothing. Okay, yeah, some people are going to go, well, what about butchering? Butchering costs. Well, if you're hunting wildlife, you're going to have butchering costs as well. But with wild boar, on a regular typical boar, it can run from $0 to $200 for butchering. And you go, well, how does that work with $0? Well, that works with if you do your own butchering. And really, butchering a wild boar is quite simple. We're going to show you a lot of that stuff on our future videos. As a matter of fact, we have another page on Facebook. If you go to Boar's Head Lodge Hunt Club, we have articles, videos, posts on how to do your butchering, your field dressing, everything. And I'm telling you, butchering a wild hog the way we do it, it takes 10 minutes and you get just about everything you want out of that. So that's kind of covering it where the costs are concerned. One of the things I might mention, I mentioned that you don't have to have a license. Well, we have different types of land here in Arizona, all falling under the public lands category. You got state trust lands, you have BLM lands, you have national forests, and you got private lands. Well, private lands we're not talking about because we're not hunting on private lands. But the other three, there's wild boar hunting that's allowed on those properties, on those areas. However, with state trust land, you have to have a hunting license or a state trust permit, a state trust land permit. You can get them online. I think they cost $15. 15, not 50, 1-5. And you can travel on state trust land. For out-of-staters, that's probably the ideal way to go. Hunting license, we know what it costs you to get on, to get that set up. So that's the one thing, the one caveat we're going to talk about or warn you about. It's not hard to get, and it's really cheap. Okay. Again, like I was saying before, wild boar aren't as prevalent as they are in Texas. However, the time it takes to get to Texas from here, you're looking at 20, 21 hours to get to your hunting ranches in Texas. They charge you for lodging, etc., etc. Meanwhile, I mean, if you're hunting here in Arizona, if you know where to hunt, which we're going to help you with, you can be hunting in the time it takes you to travel. And the costs are a lot cheaper, I guarantee you. The cost of gas nowadays. Also, one of the things you need to know about hunting wild boar in Arizona is that it's hunting, it's not shooting. It's the same way with whitetail deer. Anybody that gets drawn, if you're lucky enough to get drawn for whitetail, you still have to get out there and find them. I think in the year 2023, the success average for whitetail hunting was 41%. And so you got to consider wild boar are nocturnal, whereas whitetail deer, they're out during the day. So it makes it a little tougher, but if you know how to overcome the challenges on wild boar, which we're going to be teaching you on our future videos, etc., then it kind of evens things out a little bit. Okay, on that note, we're all done, and our next video will be probably in the next week, and we will be out in the field. That's all. Say goodbye.